A very good evening, dear professionals. It's been a pleasure to meet you all once again for this INVT Industrial Empowerment session. This week, we have been celebrating about National Energy Conservation Day. This entire month, we have been celebrating on different aspect. And the second part of this Energy Conservation Day celebration, today we are going to talk about how this ISO 50,001 can be integrated with energy conservation. I am Dr. K. Satyanarayanan from INVTY Training Wing. INVTY have been working with SDG goals of goal number 3, goal number 4, and goal number 9. And we work with good health and well-being, quality education, industry innovation, and infrastructure. Our vision is about invent, innovate, and inspire. The technologies, the good practice which is being followed in developed countries, we ensure that the things which has been there, it is being experienced by our country peoples right now. For that thing, INVT have been formed this organization for last 7+ years. INVT vertical, INVT is been operating based on research and development, corporate training, statutory and legal audits, digital solution, and health and wellness wing. We do have a legacy to say that INVT is the first Indian firm to have all three learning solutions, starting from conventional, digital-based learnings and action-based learning. Digital-based learning, which is LMS, and action-based learning, AR, VR, from 2018 onwards. We, INVT Training Wing, have been having a vertical of training. I've been doing training on technology, safety, quality, and managerial aspects. Corporate futuristic trainings, INVT once in 6 months, INVT corporate wing, along with INVT training wing, they ensure that the futuristic training models have been established and been developed based on the corporate requirement. This is a small introduction about Team INVT. Now we will go into our today's subject with respect to our energy conservations, how we are going to do effective energy conservation for a sustainable future using ISO 50,001. A very effective standard from 2018 onwards. Many organizations have been adopted this standard. This is one of the most important positive sign which we have been signing on. So what is going to be the most important takeaway from this session? The most important takeaway from this session is going to be, this is going to be the two important takeaway which we like to give to you. First, I know the holistic sustainable energy conservation methodologies by using ISO 50,001. By using ISO 50,001, you are going to understand about how sustainable energy conservation practices can be followed. And the second part is about I am going to do it, I'm going to integrate it. I'm able to integrate energy conservation technique in my personal life. Okay, personal and professional life. This is my two important objectives for today training, which we have been going to see about. So, my dear friends, ISO 50,001, ISO 50,001 is a very important standard with respect to sustainable aspect and with respect to environmental pillar of ESG. So, we want to ensure that whenever your organization have been going for the standard, you have to integrate this energy conservation techniques also into this pillar for the betterment of your organization, and also to ensure that we have been adding more values to your ESG umbrella also. So as a just what we are going to tell, we are going to see a very important view in such a way that how each classes can be connected for this energy conservation in ISO 50,001. And in a detailed way, we are going to see, and also in a detailed way, we are going to see application part of view also. We have been taken one of the application part of a pharmaceutical company, which we have been integrated this ISO 50,001 for the betterment of their ESG performance. So first class number 4, starting from class number 4, make sure that your context have been integrated with respect to the energy conservation itself. Start from class number 4. Class number 4, make sure that you are adding this energy conservation is also part of it. Next, class number 5, make sure that your leadership aspect, your top management aspect, whether your top management ensures that demonstrates their responsibility towards this energy conservation, and make sure that you are planning and you are based on class number 6, the planning what we have been doing for okay, what we have been doing for energy management, make sure that the energy conservation is also added there. Make sure that the support structures have been well in place to equip for energy conservation. And with respect to class number 8, make sure that this energy conservation have been followed in a day-to-day activity. Class number 9, monitoring, auditing, and reviews. Make sure that your auditing, your monitoring, and reviews also include your energy conservation measures. And at least once in 6 months, discuss about what is the energy conservation's continuous improvement you add as a vote. Starting from 4, starting from 10, this is a overall view of this energy conservation, which we can able to do from class number 4 to class number 10. You may ask us how it can be practically, how it can be done. Okay, there is some of the questions from our YouTube participants. Yes, we are going to see this in a very detailed way, my dear friends. Very, very, very detailed way. How we are going to address it in a very detailed way. So class number 4, contest of organization. In contest of organization, starting from your internal and external issue, starting from your stakeholders, interested parties, and expectation, make sure you are also going to add the internal and external issue with respect to energy conservation. What is internal and external issues with respect to, okay, any of our participants can able to put your reflection. What, okay, name any internal or external issue with respect to energy conservation. Okay, thank you. So, my dear friends, very simple. If I've been made one policy with respect to energy conservation in such a way that I'm going to buy 50% of the energy from the local market. So this is one of the internal issue. External issue, government is going to, okay, if your regulator bodies are going to enforce that you have to buy, okay, or you have to convert your, okay, energy conservation, this much of percentage, okay, this much of percentage to renewable energies. So this is one of the external issues. So starting from class number 4 itself, make sure that your internal and external issues are when aligned with your, okay, energy conservation techniques also. Next, whenever you are going to talk about interested parties, make sure that you are adding the interested parties with respect to the energy conservations also. Who are the interested parties? Yes, some of the OEMs which we have been worked on, they are going to be, okay, they are going to be your interested parties. We have been going to work, okay, some of, okay, your internal clients, internal departments may be required for this. So as a interested parties, make sure that, okay, interested parties, make sure that you are adding them, okay, you are be adding them in detail, and you are ensuring that the 4.1 and 4.2 is capturing the energy conservation techniques also. Then clearly, okay, clearly 4.3, make sure that you are putting the scope, under your scope, this energy conservation is also applied. This is the art of including energy conservation or driving energy conservation by class 4. My dear friends, for very easy understanding, and also how we have been going to understand, how we have been going to integrate it, we have been posted the technique, how it can be integrated in a real-time version. I can able to post that implementation aspect also. The screen which you have been seeing here is about internal and external issues. You see, in internal and external issue, the energy intensive operations have been added. Internal issue, aging infrastructures, our team has been added. External issue, regulatory requirements are added. External issue, market trends are added of your company. Next, in 4.2, what we are doing, slowly we are doing the stakeholders expectation. What is the stakeholders expectation with respect to customers, with respect to regulators, with respect to investors? Next, in 4.3, the scope is clearly defined, my dear friends. What is we are including, and we are ensuring that all the energy conserving operations are also included in your ISO 50,000. My dear friends, this is the art. Okay. Whenever we are going for this ISO 50001 energy management, kindly ensure this you are adding this also in your scope for better result of your ISO 50001. This is very, very important with respect to this. Next, with respect to ISO 50001 class number 4.4, make sure that you have been this energy conservations. Okay, have been the target have been set for the department which you have been chosen. These are the most important aspect with respect to class number 4. Next, we come to our class number 5, which is leadership. Make sure that your top management is having a strategic towards this energy conservation, which should be a very priority one. Nowadays, after this ESG has been rolling out, you can able to see that energy conservation plays a very important role. Last session we saw, whenever we have been doing ESG audits or LSG, okay, or life cycle analysis, okay, we found that the organizations who have been doing good, they are taking this energy conservation part of the strategic plan, and they worked. After 2 to 3 years, they are finding good results. So make sure that your top management, the strategic aspect, this energy conservation is also part of it. In your top management meeting, you have to talk about this, because energy conservation, it also adds the carbon, okay, scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, the carbon emissions. Okay, it is directly proposed to your carbon emissions. So understand this. Your top management has to speak about that. You have to have some action plans. The integration, the long-term plan has to be with respect to that. Next, your energy policy. The energy policy has to talk about how you are going to minimize the energy waste, and how you are going to ensure the efficiency of energy usage, and how you are going to ensure that it is being added. Okay, it is this culture is being added in your organization, throughout the organization, not only for maintenance department, not only for safety department, or not only for HR department. It is being linked with all the parts, and it is being practiced as a holistic practice towards your organization. What I can do, what you can do, okay, it's not only putting a policy, my dear friends. Most of the organization which we are part of, ESG implementer or ESG strategic advisor, we tell that while the employees have been hired itself, do this. Right, at hiring itself, once you are hired, at the induction training itself, make sure that the energy conservation techniques have been discussed and the people have been aware about your energy conservation techniques. Next, make sure that a very clear roles, responsibility, authority with respect to implementation strategies have been draft 5.3. So again, how it can be, okay, how it can be practiced, we are going to see top management commitment. Starting from your strategic priority, see how the strategies, okay, how the strategy with respect to energy conservation have been drafted, the resource allocation, how you are being allocating as a top management, have been allocating the budget, it may be the person and technology with respect to this energy conservation, and be as a top management officials, how they are participating. My dear friends, this energy conservation week, we are very much happy to see that last year we did 17 programs. This year we have been double that program. 31 different activities have been did by our team. That shows that top management are having more commitment towards this energy conservation in the coming years. That add more values. We are more happy. Okay, we did 31. Many of our people would have been done more than that. So the awareness between the energy conservation from the top management have been much improved. Next, with respect to your energy policy, your energy statement has to be with respect to what is your commitment for reducing energy, how you are going to enhance the energy efficiency, and how you are going to ensure that the sustainable operation procedures and practice have been incorporated in your organization. The policy has to state that, my dear friends. Next, cultural integration. Make sure that, as I told you, it should be spread among all the peoples, okay, all the part of your organization from top to bottom. and it has to ensure that the peoples are participating in it. Not only for one department, not only for two departments. It has to be a glow. It should be like everyone has been part of it. And next, we are going to talk about continuous improvement. How we are ensuring that it is being keep on practice, or what are the different benchmarks we have been keeping on. Next, with respect to roles and responsibilities, make sure that the clear definitions, who is going to be the energy conservator, who is going to lead the practice, who is going to give the training. It has to be well in place in your 5.3 roles, responsibility, authority, and also the monitoring authority. Which department, okay, energy specific performance indicators, okay, we are going to fix. Who is going to be reviewing it? When it is going to be reviewed? Whether it is going to have some incentives or not. All this has to be part of your 5.3. In our experience, we can able to tell that, my dear friends, the HR persons have to be more understanding, and in your job roles responsibility, they have to post this also. Next, the beautiful class number 6, planning. Yes, while you are going to address the risk or identifying the risk and opportunities, make sure that the process, okay, and also the inefficiencies and external factors that is going to contribute for more energy usage. And you are going to ensure that the areas where, or the processes where, the practices where more energy have been consumed or it can be consumed in the coming days, it has to be captured in this addressing the risk and opportunities. And energy review, very very important, my dear friends. While you are doing the energy review, make sure the energy review and energy baseline, objectives and targets, many of us would have been confusing with these three parameters. Energy review is nothing but what we are going to do right now in your organization. We are going to review the energy conservations per product, how much you are consuming, where or what place the energy hike is there. And while you are doing this energy review, make sure that you are having a parameter with respect to energy conservation also. Energy baseline is nothing but you are going to keep that, for example, my production of, okay, one particle, the average unit consumed is 5 kilowatt. This is based on your review, based on your existing system. You are taking the average and you are saying that this is my average. This is my average, 5. Objectives and target, I'm going to ensure that below 5 is my target. Below 5 is my target. So while you are going to do this, understand about thinking about the energy conservations also. How to do this? You can able to see that identification of inefficiency, external factor analysis with respect to technology advancement, and we are going to ensure that what are the energy saving techniques or improving operational techniques can be done in energy reviews. Always you can able to ensure that the identification of significant energy usage, what are the equipments have been used consuming more energies, you can able to highlight it, and what is the consuming pattern. Analyze the pattern of energy consumption, for example identifying the peak usage, and make sure that what are the ineffective practices we are having. For example, in an industry, okay, it is okay, the requirement of energy consumption of the particular motor may not be more than 40%. But what we would have been done based on our process design, we would have been consuming more than 40%. But in the energy review, you can able to understand very clearly about this consumption pattern. Then you can able to ensure that you are setting the energy baseline and energy performance indicators. What is, as I told you, what is energy baseline and energy performance indicators? By using this, we are ensuring that the relevant energy performance indicators for producing my product, what is the baseline? And we are also going to ensure that how we are going to, how we are going to track and how we are going to report that energy baselines also, which we have been fixed. Next, with respect to objectives, Make sure that energy reduction objectives is also a part of your energy management system, and develop an action plan for it, and make sure that you are monitoring and adjusting the things which you have been posted with respect to energy objectives, okay, energy management objectives which you have been having on. Next, with respect to class number 7, my dear friends, make sure that the energy conservation resources are available. Competency and awareness, very important. This energy conservation, electrical safety, or the electrical auditor, yes, people will be there, but make sure that as a HR or as a safety person, you have to ensure that the energy conservation, okay, energy conservation techniques, the energy conservation methodology, the energy conservation audits, whether our peoples have been having the competencies. If they have been not having the competencies, make sure that you have been slowly developing it. And communication, internal communication and external communication with respect to energy conservation. What is my energy goals, whether I've been achieved it or not, what are the things I have to do, where I've been there, all the things has to be, yeah, we have to have a energy conservation communication chart and documented information. Make sure that what are going to be your best practices in your energy conservation. As I told you, we are going to set the baseline and we are going to set the objectives. Make sure that you have been achieving the objectives in different aspects, and make sure that you have been documenting it. And as a documented information, we can able to give the knowledge transfer to our coming employees also, and also to the other deployment also, and you can able to ensure that you can able to go for the cross-functional, you can able to ensure that the cross-functional deployment can also be possible whenever you have been having a proper documentation towards energy conservation. For this purpose, we have been drafted that the resources starting from funding and allocation for ensuring that for getting the new energy conservation devices, the tools and technology for it, and competencies starting from training and enhancing the efficiency of your year. Make sure that whom you are going to choose, that plays a very major role, my dear friends. It's not that, okay, the same set of competency is required to all the employees. No. Several, if a person is being working in a production department, he has to have a different competency with respect to energy conservation. If he is in the maintenance department, he has to have the various aspect and various dimension with respect to energy conservation. So the HR has to place a very crucial role with respect to this. And with respect to communication, as I told you, energy conservation goals, how the goals have been transferred to all the departments, how the achievements have been shared, how we are going to ensure that by maintaining the goals which you have been achieved, what is the communication metrics you are having. So next, with respect to documented informations, make sure that the maintenance procedures with respect to, okay, the maintenance procedures with respect to energy conservations have been there, and making sure that the best practices with respect to energy conservations have been documented, and make sure that the feasibility and updation of the document is being keeps on, and it is also one of the parameter of your documented information. Next, starting from our class number 8, my dear friends, very important, we are rolling out into the operation. We have been rolling out to the operations. In your real-time operations, how you are going to plan and control the energy conservation which you had, how we are going to ensure that the specified energy efficiency practices have been implemented, how you are ensuring that the specified energy efficient practices have been reducing the energy, how you are going to ensure that the peak energy demand have been met. All this has to be there as a part of your operational planning and control, and you have to have a exclusive SOP for energy conservation. The takeaway number 1 from this training, my dear friend, after this training, while you are going for your industry tomorrow, make sure that have a self-analysis. Are we having a SOP for energy conservation? Each and every department has to have a energy conservation technique, and make sure that in your design parameter, this energy conservation, most of the department, what they do, they try to do it with the production line, or they try to do it after production, but or in the maintenance department. No, it has to start from the procurement department also. Okay, it has to be started from the procurement department onwards. The procurement team or even your purchase team has to have a very clear-cut understanding about this aspect, and they have to ensure that the energy conservation devices, the energy conservation facilities, and energy conservation process have been followed in your organization in a right way. So for this, what we have been telling is as a practical guide, the SOPs, as I told you, they we have to have a very structured and exclusive SOPs for energy conservation and energy management control. Energy management control with respect to your technological or with respect to your systems you have to have. Next, with respect to design consideration, make sure that your peoples have been having a energy efficient designs with respect to layouts or with respect to the systems they are having or the new system they are going to incorporate. Here, my dear friends, I have to add a very important point. Whenever you are going to design a system, design a shop floor, energy conservation also should be one of the parameters where you are going to assess the efficiency and effectiveness of that layout. It has to be considered. Next, what are the retrofitting you are being having? And how, okay, when it has to be upgraded. For example, you may be having a HVAC, or you may be having air conditioner unit, or you may be having a laptops, you may be having the desktops. What is the shelf life of it? I'm not talking the shelf life with respect to usage, talking the shelf life with respect to, okay, energy conservation. Implementation number two, my dear friends, after this training, discuss with your IT team, discuss with your maintenance team, ensure that more than 10 years or more than 5 years, whatever may be the timeline you are fixing, make sure that the team has to analyze the particular device and say that the energy conservation, the energy consumed from that particular product is being as per the actual and no energy loss is there. This certificate internally they have to give. Next, with respect to procurement, as I told you, there should be a energy efficiency procurement policy. Implementation number 4. Energy procurement policy has to be available in your procurement department. Next, supplier selection. While you are doing supplier selection, my dear friends, kindly understand that supplier selection also has to be part. Okay, also has to be part with respect to this supplier selections, also with respect to energy management. Next, life cycle cost analysis. Make sure that life cycle cost analysis have been done, including the energy cost also in the procurement. And while you are going to do this, add this life cycle cost analysis with respect to energy conservations also. Class number 9, very important aspect with respect to our performance evaluation. Performance evaluation, you see the monitoring and measuring with respect to our energy conservation, what we have been doing in a real-time basis, what are the things we have been recording on. With respect to analysis and evaluation, make sure that the energy conservation techniques have been analyzed and the trends have been well in place, and you have been discovered the trend, and you are going to take the decision based on energy conservation based on this evaluation method. Energy audit, make sure that your internal audit also considered about the best practices which you have been told in energy conservation method. And management review, make sure that you are periodically you are discussing and you are intimating your organization with respect to this energy conservation and what is the performance of energy saving investment and initiatives you have been made with respect to this in your organization. For this, the implementation methods, which I told you, you can able to see the energy tracking systems has to be in place, the real-time energy conservation in all the facilities. At least implementation number 5, my dear friends, all the SUVs, significant energy consumption units you are having, make sure that significant energy conservation areas are having a real-time monitoring system with respect to energy conservation and performance indicators. Whether the performance indicators is not that we have to wait for 6 months or 1 year towards our energy conservation parameters or performance. Make sure that then and there the real-time achievement or real-time status of your real-time status of your energy conservation KPIs has to be measured. Analysis and evaluation. The data analysis should be in practice. Evaluation practice also should be there. In your internal audit and internal reporting, make sure that you have been conducting a scheduled and unscheduled audit also. very important. This unscheduled audit is to ensure that whether the compliance with respect to energy management and procedures have been followed, not only for audit time, apart from audit time also, these things have been practiced as a holistic way. And management review, as we discussed that, there should be a periodic review. Based on this, your team, your top management has to give their decision, what are the things they have to do with respect to this and the continuous improvement. And with respect to energy conservations, make sure that the continuous improvement is one of the key for this practice. The last, with respect to this class number 10, if at time of internal audit, you have been finding that any of your energy conservation things have been not met, you can able to go for the correction factors as the things have been met and your KPIs have been met in place. Make sure that you have been going for advanced, there's a lot on, okay, advanced technologies have been kept in place. My dear friends, okay, as a conclusion note, energy conservation for individual itself is more important. You can see that energy conservation within you per day, 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts. Okay, as a human, we are getting normally. In that, 80% were negative thoughts, 90% thoughts were same repetitive thoughts. If you are having 60,000 thoughts per day, you are being just investing. Okay, if you are having 60,000 thoughts per day, and if you are having 6 lakh energy per day, assuming 6 lakh energy per day, you are only investing 10 watts per your thoughts. Am I right? Your good thoughts, the thoughts towards your goal, thoughts towards your growth, we have been putting only 10 watts. But once this 60,000 is reduced to 6,000 thoughts per day, my dear friends, you are going to add 100 watts per your thoughts. So the thoughts converting into action can be more possible. These are our different EAG initiatives we IINVTY had, starting from zero accidents, starting from beach cleaning, energy conservation, nature, okay, World Environmental Day celebration. May Day, we have been opened a exclusive mental hygiene cell towards improving the mental hygiene, keeping the water bowl, and the first time parents of our employees have been getting 1 week leave to see their children's going to the schools. Last, for this June month, we have been gifted 62 aquariums to different government schools at Tamil Nadu to ensure that children have been associated with environment in different aspects. So, as of now, if you have any kind of doubts, we can able to ask. And with respect to your feedbacks, kindly make sure that you have been posting the feedback for the certifications purpose and also to get the slides also. So any doubts as of now?
Doctor, I am from Pioneer Gelais Manufacturing Gelatin.
Yes,
This
sir.
week we got sustainability rating from EcoVadis, 57%.
Yes, sir.
So we
Excellent,
have done
sir.
a lot of, like environment, labor, and HR ethics, we got 60%.
Okay.
And only in the sustainable procurement, we got 50%.
Okay.
That's because, we are importing our raw material from long distance countries.
Okay. Countries.
So
Okay.
automatically the sustainable procurement, the rating is less.
Okay.
We are trying to identify, the suppliers in the near vicinity so that we can improve the sustainability procurement a little better.
Excellent. So Armugam sir, what I can do,
Yep.
if possible, okay, you can able to share your scorecard with our team.
Mhm.
Our team will decode and give you a report. What are the areas where you can able to improve for next year?
Mhm.
Okay, if possible, you can able to share your report to our team.
Okay. Okay, doctor.
Sure. So what I can able to tell you, the sustainable procurement, kindly go and ask your procurement team, are they add a sustainable procurement policy? They would have. Are they have a sustainable procurement SOP? With
See, we
respect to
have purchase policy is there,
no,
but
sir,
unfortunately,
sustainable procurement policy. Sustainable procurement policy. So it's not about only about procurement from long distance, sir. This eco-awareness plays a very major role. If you can able to share your report, our team can decode and they can able to send you what are the areas you can able to concentrate on next year.
Subsequent years for a better rating.
Yes, a better rate. And also, to be saying very frankly, our team having experience of more than 70 plus organization for this eco-wages, we found that the organization who are doing really good, they may not have more documents. They are scoring less.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because their main consideration is about demonstrating the purpose. They are not recording it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is one problem which we have, sir.
Yes.
So in coming days, we can able to,
Yeah.
we can able to overcome it.
In fact,
So
we are
thank.
planning for, we already have integrated management system with quality 9,000, environment 14,000, safety 45,000, and food safety
Okay.
22,000.
22,000.
We
Okay.
are now planning for 50,000 one.
Excellent, sir. So what I can suggest you, have your integrated management system integrated with your EH. That is very important, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Your entire EH, entire ISO should be integrated with your sustainability.
Okay.
Then the life will be easy for you, sir.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts, sir. Thank you for it. And also, Manavalan, sir, thank you. From the day one, last 4 years, you have been supporting us. You are part of our training. Thank you, Professor Dr. Manavalan, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the nice words. Now, also, as a closing note, we all have 23rd, 70, one of our most important agenda, that carbon neutral for our country. Let's play our part. We feel, INVTY, we feel that this training is also one part with respect to this carbon neutral, an organization who have been going for a lot of ESG audits or ESG ratings. We are also doing our part towards achieving net zero by 2070. Together, we march towards this legacy of 2070 carbon neutral to our country. Once again, I thank all the organizers and also I thank my team for the wonderful session and thank my participants who have been there in Zoom, YouTube, and also in WebEx. Thank you once again. Kindly fill the 2 forms which have been posted to get the e-certificate also. Thank you. Thank you lots.